Life has a way of testing your patience right before your breakthrough. You pray, you believe, and you wait. But it seems like nothing's moving. Doors that should have opened are still locked. Opportunities you thought were yours slip away. You start to wonder, God, did you forget about me? But hear this truth. God's delay is never his denial. He's not punishing you. He's preparing you. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment is designed to develop something inside you that the destination will require. When you ask God for elevation, he doesn't hand you the blessing immediately. He builds your capacity first. He doesn't work according to your clock. He works according to your readiness. You see, some of the things you're praying for would crush you right now if he gave them to you too soon. That's why he's training your faith, stretching your patience, and strengthening your character before he promotes you. God's blessings are not microwaved, they're marinated. The longer you wait, the richer the flavor of what's coming your way. So when life seems slow, remember, you're not being left behind, you're being prepared. The waiting room is not wasted time, it's working time. It's where God shapes your heart, polishes your mindset, and removes the things that can't go with you to the next level. You think you're waiting on God, but many times he's waiting on you to mature, to heal, to learn, to trust. The right door will open when you're ready to walk through it without fear, without pride, and without doubt. Sometimes God closes doors to protect you from what you can't see. That job you didn't get, that relationship that didn't last, that opportunity that vanished, all of it might have looked good, but God saw something beyond the surface. He saw the trap hidden in the blessing. He saw the pain behind the promise. So instead of asking, why didn't it happen? Start thanking him that it didn't. Because if that door had opened too soon, it might have led you away from your purpose instead of toward it. Faith isn't proven in your victories, it's proven in your waiting. It's easy to trust God when the doors are flying open, but what about when they're locked tight? Real faith says, even if I don't see movement, I still believe he's working. When you trust God's timing, you release the pressure to force outcomes, you stop chasing validation and start walking in alignment. You understand that the same God who opened the Red Sea for Moses can open one door for you, and he doesn't need your panic to do it. Don't rush the process. Rushing leads to ruin. You don't plant a seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. You water it, you nurture it, and you trust that beneath the soil something unseen is growing. That's how faith works. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. God is aligning people, preparing places, and orchestrating moments in your favor. The door you've been praying for may already have your name written on it. You're just in the becoming stage. When you finally walk through that right door, it won't be by your might, your strategy, or your manipulation. It will be by divine alignment. You won't have to force it, fake it, or fight for it. The peace of God will confirm it. The door that is meant for won't require you to compromise your values to enter. It will open naturally because your preparation will match your promotion. Every great destiny requires divine timing. Look at Joseph. He spent years in prison before stepping into the palace. David was anointed king as a boy, but he didn't sit on the throne until years later. Even Jesus waited 30 years before performing his first miracle. If the Son of God had to wait, what makes us think we shouldn't? The wait doesn't mean God forgot. It means he's aligning heaven and earth to make sure what's meant for you will fit you perfectly when it arrives. So today, stop trying to kick down doors that aren't yours. Stop begging for things that require a version of you that hasn't yet matured. Trust the timing, trust the silence, trust that God is not withholding, he's positioning. The same God who brought you this far won't abandon you before the breakthrough. You're not late. You're not behind. You're right on schedule for a destiny that's still being written. The right door will open when you're ready, not when you're desperate, not when you're impatient, but when your preparation meets his promise. And when that door swings open, you'll look back and say, now I see why I had to wait. Every tear, every test, every moment of wondering will suddenly make sense. You'll realize that God's timing wasn't just right, it was perfect. So hold your head high, keep your faith steady, and keep walking with expectation. Because when God says it's time, no man, no mistake, and no devil can keep your door closed. Trust his timing. The right door will open. And when it does, you'll be ready to walk through with purpose, power, and peace. Delay is one of the hardest things for the human heart to handle. We live in a world that glorifies speed, fast success, instant results, immediate gratification, but God doesn't operate on your stopwatch. He operates on your development when you ask him for something. He doesn't just look at what you want. He looks at what you're ready for. And sometimes that means the answer you get isn't no. It's not yet. The delay isn't there to break your faith. It's there to build it. Think about it. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up tomorrow to check if it's growing. You trust the process. You understand that the seed needs time to take root before it can produce fruit. In the same way, every dream, every goal, every promise you prayed for is a seed. God has already planted it in your spirit. The delay you're experiencing is the soil that's protecting it, nourishing it, and preparing it to break through at the right time. Many people mistake divine preparation for divine rejection. They think that if something hasn't happened yet, it means it never will. But what if the delay is the very thing that's making you ready for what's coming? You can't handle the weight of your destiny with the mindset of your past. So God uses the waiting season to refine your thinking, deepen your faith, and teach you obedience. He's not trying to punish. He's trying to prepare you for the blessing so the blessing doesn't become a burden. Imagine if God gave you everything you prayed for instantly. You'd receive it without understanding its value. You'd hold the promise, but lack the wisdom to protect it. That's why he slows the process, not to frustrate you, but to fortify you. The delay creates depth. It builds endurance. It strengthens your spiritual muscles. So when the blessing finally arrives, you can sustain it without falling apart. The truth is, if you got what you wanted too early, you might lose it. But when God says it's time, no one can take it from you. He's not late. He's strategic. He's aligning your heart, your habits, and your environment to handle what he's about to release. The delay is part of his design. Every closed door, every unanswered prayer, every season of silence is shaping you for divine readiness. So instead of asking God, why is this taking so long? Start asking, God, what are you teaching me in this season? Because if you learn what you're supposed to learn while you wait, you won't just reach your destination. You'll have the strength to stay there. Delay is not denial. It's divine preparation. God's silence is never absence. His timing is perfect. And when he finally moves, you'll see why he made you wait, because what's coming is greater than what you were asking for. We live by calendars, clocks, and countdowns. We measure our lives by deadlines and schedules. But God doesn't move according to your timeline. He moves according to your transformation. He's not checking your watch. He's checking your capacity. The question isn't, how long will it take? The real question is, can you handle what you're asking for? Because sometimes the blessing you're praying for requires a stronger version of you than the one who's praying right now. When you ask God for, he doesn't give it to you instantly. He stretches you first. He increases your faith, expands your patience, and grows your understanding. You may think he's ignoring you, but he's actually enlarging you. If he gave you everything right now, it might overflow and destroy what you've built. So instead, he grows your container, your heart, your mindset, your discipline, until you can hold what he's about to pour into your life. See, many people want God-sized blessings while living with small-minded capacity. They want abundance but think in scarcity. They want influence but can't yet handle criticism. They want leadership but struggle with humility. God can't fill what's not prepared to hold. So he takes time to shape you before he showers you. That's why sometimes it feels like life is stretching you from every side, because capacity is built through pressure. Think of it like this. A balloon can't rise until it's stretched. The stretching is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. God allows challenges, delays, and even disappointments to expand your spiritual elasticity. He's teaching you to trust deeper, believe bigger, and stand stronger. He's not withholding your blessing. He's preparing your spirit to sustain it. You may be looking at your watch, wondering when your moment will come, but God's not looking at your minutes. He's looking at your maturity. He knows that giving you the right thing at the wrong time is the same as giving you the wrong thing. So he waits until your faith matches your future. He waits until your character can carry your calling. He waits until your spirit can handle the weight of his favor. Don't mistake divine timing for divine neglect. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not happening. God is intentional. He's developing your capacity so you don't crumble under the blessing. When your heart, your habits, and your humility align with your purpose, that's when God releases what's been waiting for you all along. So stop watching the clock and start building your capacity. Start growing in gratitude, in obedience, in discipline. Because when God sees that you can handle more, he gives you more. The delay is not a punishment. It's a process of preparation. You're not waiting on time. Time is waiting on you. And when your capacity catches up to your calling, the blessing will flow freely, effortlessly, and abundantly right on God's perfect schedule. Every promotion in life begins in a hidden season of preparation. Before God elevates you, he equips you. Before he puts you on display, he develops you in the dark. The world celebrates the moment of promotion, but God celebrates the process that got you there. People will see the crown, but they won't see the crushing that came before it. The truth is, God will never promote you beyond the level of your preparation, because promotion without preparation leads to destruction. Think about David before he became king. He didn't start in a palace. He started in a pasture. While everyone else saw a shepherd boy, God saw a warrior being trained in silence. Every lion, every bear that David fought in private was preparing him for Goliath in public. If David had skipped the preparation, he wouldn't have been ready for the promotion. That's how God works. He hides you until you're ready to handle the weight of what he's about to give you. Many people want the platform without the process. They want the influence without the instruction. But God knows that skipping preparation is dangerous. It's like giving a child the keys to a car before they learn how to drive. It leads to disaster. Preparation is where God builds your skill, your humility, and your endurance. He's shaping your mindset to match your mission. He's training you to manage more before he gives you more. That's why the seasons of obscurity are so powerful. When no one knows your name, God is building your foundation. When nobody applauds your effort, God is sharpening your excellence. Those quiet seasons where it feels like nothing is happening are actually where everything is happening. The character you build there will carry you when the spotlight comes. The lessons you learn in private will protect you when promotion puts you in public view. It's easy to desire the blessing, but can you handle the burden that comes with it? Every higher level brings higher responsibility. That's why God doesn't just answer prayers. He prepares people. He's more concerned with your becoming than your arriving. The question isn't whether God can open the door. The question is whether you're ready to walk through and stay there once it opens. If you're in a season of waiting, don't waste it by complaining. Use it to prepare, study more, pray more, grow more, master your craft, strengthen your faith. Because when opportunity shows up, it's too late to get ready. You have to be ready. And readiness is built in the seasons when nobody's watching. So don't despise your preparation season. Every hidden place is shaping a greater purpose. Every trial is training you for triumph. When you understand that preparation precedes promotion, you stop fighting the process and start embracing it. You realize that God is not delaying your destiny. He's developing it. And when he finally promotes you, you'll be able to stand firm, not because of luck, but because of the preparation that made you unshakable. The time will come when the skills you've built, the faith you've strengthened, and the wisdom you've gained will all align. And when that moment arrives, you won't have to chase the promotion. The promotion will find you. Because in God's system, preparation is proof that you're ready for what's next. Sometimes in life, the doors you thought were meant for you slam shut without warning. You planned it, you prayed for it, you believed it was yours, and then it disappeared. In that moment, it feels unfair, confusing, and painful. You start to question yourself, wondering if you did something wrong or missed a sign. But what if that closed door wasn't rejection? It was protection. What if God shut it not to hurt you, but to help you? Because sometimes the door that doesn't open is the one that saves your life. You see, God sees what you can't. He knows what's on the other side of that opportunity, that relationship, that decision. You're looking at the surface, but he's looking at the future. You see the shine, but he sees the storm. You see the excitement, but he sees the entanglement. And because he loves you too much to let you walk into something that will harm you, he closes the door. It's not punishment, it's protection. We often think that when things don't go our way, it's because God isn't listening. But sometimes his greatest act of mercy is saying no. That relationship that fell apart, maybe God saw the heartbreak it would bring. That job you didn't get, maybe it would have drained your peace or destroyed your purpose. That dream that didn't manifest when you expected, maybe it wasn't denied. It was delayed until you were ready to carry it without losing yourself in the process. Every no from God carries hidden wisdom. Every door that closes is a redirection towards something better, something safer, something more aligned with your calling. When God says no, he's not rejecting your faith, he's protecting your future. He's positioning you for a blessing that fits your destiny, not your desire. Think about it like this. If you were driving and saw a road closed sign, you wouldn't T-crash through the barricade. You'd trust that someone placed it there for your safety. That's how God operates. He places barriers in your life to protect you from unseen danger. You might be frustrated because you wanted to go that way, but God's detours are divine. He's rerouting you toward a path that leads to peace, not pain. Sometimes you'll only understand the closed door in hindsight. You'll look back months or years later and realize, if that door had opened, I would have been in the wrong place with the wrong people at the wrong time. What felt like disappointment was actually deliverance. God's protection doesn't always feel like love at first. It feels like loss. But when the story unfolds, you'll see that his no was the greatest yes you could have received. So instead of fighting the doors that close, start thanking God for them. Start trusting that if it's shut, it wasn't meant for you right now or maybe ever. What's meant for you won't require you to beg, force, or compromise to obtain it. The right door will open naturally with peace attached, not anxiety. Every closed door is a message from heaven saying, I've got something better. You may not see it yet, but trust that the one who holds your future knows what he's doing. He's not keeping something from you. He's keeping something for you. And when the time is right, when your heart is ready and your path is clear, he'll open a door so perfectly aligned that you'll thank him for every other one that didn't work out. Faith sounds powerful when everything is moving, but its true strength is revealed when nothing seems to be happening. It's easy to believe when the doors are opening, prayers are being answered, and life feels like it's falling into place, but real faith is proven in the waiting room, when heaven is silent, when you've prayed the same prayer for months or years, and when you're doing everything right but nothing seems to change. That's where your faith is tested, refined, and made real. The waiting room is not a punishment. It's a proving ground. It's where God measures the depth of your trust. Can you still believe when there's no visible progress? Can you still praise when the answer hasn't come? Faith isn't about controlling outcomes. It's about trusting God's goodness even when you can't trace his hand. The waiting room strips away shallow belief and forces you to anchor yourself in who God is, not just in what he can do when you're in that season. Waiting. It's tempting to compare your timeline to others. You see people around you getting married, getting promoted, launching their dreams, and you start to wonder, what about me? But God's plan for your life is not on anyone else's schedule. What's happening for them is irrelevant to what God is preparing for you. The waiting is not wasted, it's working. God is building patience, resilience, and character in the delay, because those are the muscles you'll need when your moment comes. Think of Abraham waiting for the promise. God told him he'd be the father of many nations, but years passed before he saw any evidence of it. Yet the Bible says he staggered not at the promise of God through unbelief. That means even when he didn't see results, he stood firm in belief. That's faith. Faith that doesn't depend on signs or timelines, but on trust in the one who spoke the promise. The waiting room is also where God filters your motives. Are you believing for the blessing, or are you believing in the blesser? Many times, the longer you wait, the purer your desire becomes. The waiting teaches you to value the giver more than the gift. It refines your priorities and shifts your focus from when to why. And here's the beauty of the waiting room. It's not silent. It only feels that way. Behind the scenes, God is aligning people, preparing places, and orchestrating events in your favor. He's not ignoring you. He's arranging divine timing. Just because you can't see movement doesn't mean he's not working. Every day of waiting is a day closer to breakthrough. Every moment of patience is a seed of faith that will bear fruit in due season. So, if you're in the waiting room right now, don't give up. Don't let impatience push you into something premature. Keep your faith steady. Keep showing up. Keep praying. Keep preparing. Because one day, the door will open and you'll realize the wait was never wasted. It was the workshop where God was shaping you into the person capable of carrying the promise. Faith isn't proven by what you receive. It's proven by what you endure. And when your faith survives the silence, you become unstoppable. You come out of the waiting room not only with what you prayed for, but with the strength, gratitude, and wisdom to sustain it. That's the kind of faith that moves mountains. Not because you saw the outcome, but because you trusted the process. When you're ready, you won't have to chase what's meant for you. It will find you. You won't have to beg, force, or manipulate to make it happen. The right door opens with ease when your spirit, your preparation, and your purpose align. That's the beauty of divine timing. It doesn't require strain, it requires surrender. When you've gone through the process, when your heart has matured and your mindset has shifted, the things you once had to fight for start flowing toward you naturally. You see, the struggle you feel right now is not about the door, it's about your readiness. God doesn't withhold blessings to frustrate you. He waits until you can handle them, because the blessing that's too big for your current capacity can become a burden. So he works on you in silence. He refines your character, shapes your motives, and tests your patience. He allows certain things to fall apart so he can strengthen what's inside you. Then, at the right moment, when your maturity meets your mission, he opens the door that's been waiting for you all along. The right door never demands compromise. It doesn't require you to become someone you're not just to fit in. It aligns perfectly with who God created you to be. You'll walk through it with peace, not pressure. You'll feel confirmation in your spirit, not confusion in your mind. When it's your door, it opens easily. Not because life suddenly becomes effortless, but because your preparation finally matches the promise. You've grown into the version of yourself that can walk through that door and stay there with integrity. Think about how a key works. A key doesn't force the lock open. It fits, it turns smoothly because it was designed for that specific door. That's how divine alignment works. When you're ready, your key of preparation will fit the lock of opportunity. It won't be about striving. It'll be about stepping. It won't be about proving. It'll be about walking confidently into what God already ordained for you. And when that door opens, it won't just bless you, it'll bless everyone connected to you. Your readiness doesn't just unlock opportunity, it unlocks impact. Because God doesn't elevate you just for your comfort. He elevates you for his purpose. Every lesson, every delay, every closed door before this was preparing you to handle what's coming next with wisdom instead of pride, with gratitude instead of entitlement. The waiting makes the walking easier. When you've endured seasons of stillness, you appreciate the moment when movement comes. When you've learned patience, you stop forcing outcomes. You learn to recognize that what's yours will never pass you by. The right door doesn't require you to knock it down. It opens with divine timing and undeniable peace. So stop worrying about when it's going to happen. Focus on becoming the person who's ready when it does. Keep growing, keep trusting, keep preparing, and keep your heart right. Because when you're ready, the right door will open. And when it does, you'll realize it wasn't luck. It was preparation meeting destiny. And that's when you'll know this was the moment you were built for all along. Every moment of waiting, every delay, every closed door has been shaping you for this truth. God's timing is perfect. What you thought was rejection was really redirection. What felt like silence was divine strategy. You weren't being forgotten. You were being formed. God never wastes a season. He uses every challenge, every pause, and every disappointment to refine your faith and strengthen your character. When you learn to trust his timing, peace replaces pressure. You stop trying to make things happen and start allowing them to unfold. You understand that the process was never meant to punish you. It was meant to prepare you. Because when the right door finally opens, you'll walk through it with clarity, confidence, and conviction. You'll see that the version of you who started the journey could never have handled the blessing waiting on the other side. The waiting built wisdom, the stretching built strength, the silence built substance, and all of it brought you to this moment. The moment where your preparation meets his promise. So don't rush what God is still perfecting. Keep your faith steady. Keep your heart open. Keep your hope alive. Because when you're ready, the right door will open effortlessly. And when it does, you'll look back and realize that God's timing wasn't just right. It was flawless. Every detour had purpose. Every delay carried meaning. Every disappointment was direction. So trust his timing. He's not just opening a door. He's preparing you to walk through it with power, peace, and purpose. Your moment is coming, and this time you'll be ready for it.